Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mechamac. This is Estelba's face being hidden by a girder. Well, no. This is the Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. In the last episode, we beat the heck up of Kyle from the Kapua family and his minions, but they got away. So instead, we're going to investigate this area. Here's a lift car. Looks like the same type as those at the landing port. Bandits probably used this to move the cargo. But yeah, I have a feeling that the person that we ran into on our way up the mountain trail might be working with the Sky Bandits because... I don't know, there's just something suspicious about how he was expecting more people later than us right now. I think he also wasn't expecting Estelle to be a competent fighter. I wonder what this is. It's the Orbital Engine Control Panel. It looks like the flow of orbital energy has completely stopped. Well, yeah, I imagine they wouldn't want to invest to try and loot the place while the engine is on. And we see a brick wall. It looks like this is the captain's seat. If these were any other circumstances, I would love to sit here. Don't even think about it. Don't kill the dream! Here's the steering wheel used to pilot the ship. Wonder where the pilot could have gone. Actually, now that I think about it, something that I do have, and I'm worried about that, but I've gotten a second monitor, which allows me to look at my stuff on the sideline whenever I want. Unfortunately, it looks like if I ever do click on that, yeah. You should load your save. Yeah, this is the part that I kept seeing about the option appearing on Jeopardy and such. She's going to question us about our investigation and we have to get it right. It's bright in here. There's a lot of light shining into this place. Hello, this is the top of the world. These are all just passenger seats. We are running out of ship to explore, I'm noticing. Over, but it looks like there's nobody inside. There's a high possibility the passengers were transferred to the Sky Bandit's ship, then to wherever their hideout is. Agreed. This sucks. Right when I thought we had some clues, we're back to zero. Come on, cheer up already. It's not like every clue is completely vanished. Why do you think the Sky Bandits hit the airliner in a place like this? Huh? As far as I can tell, the orbital energy in the ship is completely stopped, which means that the orbital engine was stripped from the aircraft. I know this because orbital energy in an orbment gradually recharges over time. Furthermore, Sky Bandits made multiple trips to carry off a large amount of cargo. Considering the time and risk involved, don't you think it would be more effective just to take the entire airliner to their hideout? That does seem a little odd that they didn't. Why'd they hide the airliner here then? All I can think of it is that they did it in order to... Oh, this is hard, so... The obvious answer may not be so correct. Okay, let's tackle this one by one. We know that he was sorting out the cargo, but they could have done that in the hideout. They did move the hostages aboard their own aircraft, because the ship is here and they aren't. The orbital engine was completely removed. But then, see, you have to, I'm trying to keep in mind, what is it that they're doing, what is it that they need to do here that they can't do elsewhere? They needed to ditch the Linde because their hideout is somewhere weird. I don't know. Like, these three are all things that they actually did. But what is it that they need to do here that they couldn't do at their own hideout? This is actually a very hard question. I'm pretty sure it's not those first three. If it's increased risk, then they need to keep clear of Royal Army's search party. It's true that the airliner is rather large and easily seen. In that sense, it would be highly likely they would leave it in a different place than their hideout. That alone couldn't be decided a decisive reason. Damn it, Estelle! Your phrasing threw me off! Apparently they wanted to ditch the Linde because their hideout is somewhere weird? It's a confusing... Yeah, anyway, welcome back. I didn't just undo everything, did I? That's exactly right. My guess I would imagine their hideout is in a slightly peculiar place. Maybe 10 to 15 Arge in size. In short, a peculiar place on which only a small aircraft like the Sky Bandit's airship could land. That's a dirty way of phrasing it to make you look like an idiot in front of Scheherazade. Interesting. How about a terrain covered with extreme difference in height, like mountains and ravines? That seems like a likely place for the Sky Bandit's hideout. That's what I've been thinking too. If that's the case, we may not be able to do anything else. There's the possibility their hideout is in a place we can't reach by foot. What can we do? Well, I hate to say it, but we may have to share our conclusions with the army and ask for their cooperation. They're the ones with the patrol ships. Now you're telling us we should go crawling back to the army and ask them for help. Either way, we still have to report to them about the airliner. Personally speaking, I think we should cooperate with the army, whatever their attitude may be. Especially if that means bringing back the hostages safe and sound. I guess you're right. This isn't the time or place to be letting my personal feelings get the best of me. For the time being, let's get back to the guild and report our findings to Lugrin. We should be able to contact the Harken Gate if we use the orbital telephone. Oh. Fantastic.
Huh? What the heck?
Now this is something I was not expecting. I wonder if we should be glad if they've saved us the trouble of having to contact them, or if they're going to shoot us now for thinking we're the culprits. We have found a suspicious armed group! Put your hands in the air, all of you! What is this world coming to? A woman and 2 kids are the Sky Bandits? The girl does look a bit shifty. That's just rude. Who are you calling Sky Bandits? Can't you see the shiny emblem on my chest? The bracer emblem, huh? Hope you don't think for a moment something like that proves your innocence. General Morgan? Why are you here? After looking over the reports of my men, I found this place to have been sufficiently investigated, so I came to see for myself. Who would have thought the lot of you were conspiring with the Sky Bandits? Might I get you to stop with the accusations, General? We happen to find this place one step ahead of your men. If that's the truth, then why don't you tell me where the Sky Bandits are? Are the hostages inside the airliner? We almost had the Sky Bandits, but they managed to escape. There are no hostages to be found here. Looks like the truth has come out. Most likely you notified the Sky Bandits to let them know we were coming! Wait a minute, how about you cut with that crap? My thoughts exactly. Alright men, take them into custody. What a jerk. They certainly were aware that they were coming, though. The General will be questioning you himself on the morrow. If your innocence is proven, you'll be released in 2 or 3 days. So for the time being, this will be a place to cool your heels. What a strange saying. I wonder where that came from. It's not that I haven't heard it before, but... This is not even funny. Tossing us in a place like this without even listening to a word we have to say. The army managed to arrest the Sky Bandits, I'm sure would have our names cleared. With the way things are at the moment, that may not be possible. Why not? You remember what the Sky Bandit leader we fought in the mine said? He said, "This can't be right, you're not supposed to be here this early," if I remember correctly. Now you mention it, he did say that, didn't he? You're not trying to tell me that he meant the army by that, are you? I don't know for sure, but I would bet that's what he meant. Which means that the Sky Bandits have a mole in the army, or a collaborator who's leaking information. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it, Joshua? Yeah. I suddenly have concerns over who that will be. My theory at the moment is Lila. If that's the case, they'll never get caught. Which means we're the only ones who stood a chance of nabbing them. But now we're stuck in here. I wonder how your father would get around this little setback. My. Don't you all seem to be in a bit of a fix? Did you just say something, Joshua? No, I didn't say anything. It came from the cell next door. It almost sounds familiar. Oh, is it the bard again? How could you say something so heartless? My lustrous voice should be recognizable to anyone. Well, his dialogue definitely gets it away, even if I can't actually hear his voice. Could this be that unfounded self-confidence that tone of absurd narcissism belong to? It's you, isn't it, Olivia? You do remember my dulcet chords? To think we'd meet again in a place like this. Seems we are bound by destiny. Why are you here? I thought we took you to Bose. Now you're locked up in a place like this? What the heck did you do? Let's not worry about all the little details, shall we? I suspect you're an Imperial super spy, but this is the same sort of theory that... Often when I'm dealing with mysteries, I'll go off on wild, unsuspected tangents. Sometimes I'll be correct, and sometimes I'll be blatantly wrong, but they at least make for interesting times. I have my reasons, which are deeper than the deepest ocean and higher than the highest peak. I'm definitely not asking now. I'm sure we'd just get tired while you talked our ears off. What a coincidence, Estelle. I was just thinking the exact same thing. So there you have it. You don't really care to know. You talk so much I'd probably be an old woman by the time you were done, and I'm not ready for wrinkles yet. I could make a comment about the hair, but I'm fond of having my teeth. Come on now, let's not be like that. I'll fill you in on all the details of the tragic incident which befell me.
Didn't you listen, you dummy? We don't want to hear about it.
It all began after we parted ways. I did some window shopping in the Beaux-Arts market, then moved on to the Rantours restaurant. You see, once I had eaten to my heart's content, I began to play the grand piano then to feed my artistic soul. Upon doing so, the manager was overcome by my skill, so I was to stay and work as a professional pianist for the restaurant. I like that you can actually find out about this. That's great and all, but I thought you were supposed to be a lutist. A musical genius is not limited to just one instrument. Anyway, back to my story. After negotiating a few of my conditions, I accepted the job offer. Those conditions were, of course, food and wine for free every day instead of mirror. I don't know how to put it, but that's very you, Olivia. I'm not sure how that has anything to do with getting thrown in jail. This is where the real sob story begins. That night I had been enjoying the plate of sautéed duck I'd had the chef prepare, but the blood sauce which had been used was a little too overbearing for my palate. Consequently, I began to feel that normal red wine was not satisfying enough. The more you talk, the more I want to hit you. I'm curious, in spite of knowing better. I borrowed a bottle of wine which seemed good from the cellar, something called Grand Chardonnay, from the year 1183. Grand Chardonnay, from the year 1183? Oh dear, I think he just nommed something expensive. That's their legendary vintage wine that was auctioned off in Royal City. Aren't you well informed? I heard a rumour about it too, so of course I was interested in having a drink for myself. Auctioned off. How much are we talking about here? From what I heard, it went for somewhere in the neighbourhood of 500,000 mirror. I don't think we have that much. Even if we sold all our Sabbath, we wouldn't have that much. Like, 1,000 is 3 zeros, and another 2 zeros on top of that, then a 5 in front of it. Nope, we definitely couldn't.
500,000 mirror? For just one bottle?
That's out of this world. You didn't, did you, Olivia? Such a needless question. Of course I opened the bottle and had a sip. Its sweet selling fragrance tickled my nostrils. Its luxurious mellow taste caressed my throat. This is very questionable ways of describing taste. Can you believe what else? Rose-tinted vignette of time and space existed within that very bottle. I don't think I can listen to this any longer. My ears are bleeding from listening to such stupidity. I'm completely dumbfounded. The sad thing is that after taking a sip of such excellent wine, I began to feel the food was lacking. So you went and ate some expensive food as well, didn't you? As I was having the chef cook me up something else to match the wine, the restaurant manager returned. Since I'm not a stingy fellow, I cordially invited him to join me for a drink. And that's how he found out that you'd been nipping into the expensive stuff. For some reason, he got rather upset, but he got so steaming mad his face looked like a ripe tomato. Before I could say another word, a group of soldiers came filling in. And, well, one thing led to another, and I can't say another word about this tragedy of being dragged all the way without coming to tears. So let us weep together as you sympathize with my dilemma. Idiot. Pardon? Do my ears deceive me? I could have sworn I heard snoring, and even surely a misheard idiot coming from your cell. Are you listening? This is where the story gets really interesting. You see, several further trials awaited me after I was brought here. Are you listening? Well, it's a good way to... Ah yes, we're all rested up. You three, get up! No, I'm tired. What's wrong? What are you trying to tell us we're being interrogated this early in the morning? That's a little early even for me. No, it's just the opposite. You're being released. Huh? Why all of a sudden? Is there a reason for this? Yes, I'd like to consider myself that reason. Mayor Maybell? What an unusual place to be meeting you. I'm really sorry about everything that's happened to you. Don't worry, your names have been cleared. I don't completely agree with everything, but this is a request coming from Maybell herself. You'd better remember to thank her. So you mean Mayor Maybell stood up on our behalf? That's not exactly it. I just explained your situation to General Morgan. Situation? Yes, I have one question for the both of you. Are you really the children of Cassius Bright? Yeah, that's right. This is Estelle Bright, and I'm his adopted son Joshua. I see. Now that you mention it, the girl does slightly resemble Lena. You my mother? I enjoyed your mother's cooking on several occasions when I visited your home in Roland. In fact, we even met once when you were just a baby. Now wait just a minute. You're a personal acquaintance of my dad's? I knew he was in the military before, but... I don't know Cassius Bright the Bracer. The only Cassius I know is the one from the service. He was a rare strategist. Strategist? Dad? We need to hammer in this running gag of Estella underestimating her dad constantly. Just can't imagine what he saw in the Bracer Guild. Makes me angry just thinking about it. Oh dear. You'll have to excuse me. What's going on with him? Seems like your father was a brilliant officer in the military. I've heard from the general he tried several times to get your father to change his mind about retiring. I didn't know that. Somehow it feels hard to believe. Just like every other time. If that's the case, the general's hatred for Braces may stem from Cassius leaving the army. From the vexation of being left by one of his most promising men. I get the same impression. So what you're saying is, our lives are such a pain because of Dad. Oh, that is not a very impressed face. That dirty, rotten scoundrel! How about we return to Bose now? With the airliner being found, the situation may have taken a new turn. Or has it? There's a number of things I'd like to discuss with you. Sure. Is something the matter? Definitely ready to get out of here, but it feels like we're forgetting something. Now that you mention it, what could it be? Oh dear. How callous people can be at times. How could you forget about a companion who spent the night with you in a cold, hard cell? How lamentable, how pitiable. Fine, be that way, I shall wither away, friendless and hungry, alone in this dark purgatory. Is he still here? I completely forgot about him. I'm sorry to say this, but there's not much we can do for you. Is he the musician I heard about? The one who chugged that bottle of Grand Chardonnay without a second thought? Yeah, indeed, that is I. Yet, my fair lass, I would be heartbroken if you took my intentions the wrong way, for you see I perceived it as an advance payment for the exquisite services I was about to render. You are something else, Olivia. You are something else indeed. You're quite the interesting character. Alright, I'll see what I can do to bargain with the General for your release. Really? Truly? You would do such a kind service for a man such as myself? Pete changes his mind about himself a lot, apparently. I think I might be asking a bit much. If the restaurant takes this to trial, there's going to be a lawsuit. Well, there's no need to worry about that. The owner of the restaurant is me. Huh? The Grand Chardonnay was the one I bid on. That being the case, I'm fairly confident there won't be any other problems over the matter. I can't believe you were released. It's like a stroke of bad luck. Please don't lay on the compliments so thick. However, it pains my soul that I partook of such a fine wine without paying a single mirror. Shall I play the piano in the restaurant as per contract to remedy that? I think I'm going to have to pass on that. After what happened, I think it would be a bit awkward having you back there. I for one don't think he'd mind a bit. He sure does seem to have some thick skin. Let's just think of it as an unfortunate incident for the both of us. I don't think I can just let things go like this. Let's see. Seems like you're investigating something at the moment, right? That is true. He's a competent investigator, if nothing else. How about I lend my assistance in return for the wine? Huh? That does sound interesting. Could I ask you to join these braces in their work? Could you ever? So it's settled. Let's be our new working relationship bloom like a magnolia at the height of spring. What did we do to deserve this? Your general weirdness aside, simply having an amateur around like you is honestly going to be a pain. Are you confident you won't be a drag on our work? Or our sanity? No, given the state of his orbment, I'd say that his skills in battle are definitely worth it. His sanity is another matter. I'm somewhat confident in my marksmanship and magic. Of course, I'd be distressed if you tried to list my music genius in this same group. That's the kind of line that gets me really worried. Maybe we could use an extra hand. As long as we can't count on the army to help us out, I have the feeling we'll be short on manpower. Well, alright, we'll use you for what you're worth. If we do happen to conclude you're not worth your weight, you're dumped from the party. Are you going to be okay with that? Of course I don't mind. I'd never let you down, so please be assured. Well, my expectations for you are pretty much rock bottom anyway, so I know you won't let me down. I'm glad things are settled in between you all. But before you go, there's something I need to tell you. Tell us? Actually, the town did seem pretty noisy as we were headed here. What happened? Truth be told, last night there was a large-scale burglary in Bose's South Block. The weapon shop and Orbital factory were targeted, as were a number of private residences. Not the Orbital factory, I need that! What? So was this the work of the Sky Bandits? It's unknown at this time, but it seems highly probable. A unit of the Royal Army is currently conducting an investigation. I see. Guess we'd better do an investigation of our own then. Yes, I'd like to formally request that you just do that. I'll send a payment over to the guild for the work you've done so far. Please make sure you make use of the money for your current investigation expenses. I have a feeling that the army is going to get in our way again. But I guess when that happens, it happens. Whether they get in our way or not, I don't think we should be forthcoming with the army about any information we come across. If there's really a spy in their midst, they'll just leak it to the Sky Bandits. Though I'm a bit reluctant to say it, I also think it's best to keep quiet about our findings. Let's act with prudence. Alrighty, my bosom companions, shall we head to the South Block? Look, buddy, who made you king of the show? And yes, we have Olivia back again. Yeah, he has a pretty decent looking, yeah, he's got a decent looking parallel to Estelle's augment. Let's think about what sort of skills we want him to provide, actually. What's this? An AoE Earth spell! Fantastic. And, Attack and defense become Earth-based, so I imagine that would actually be kind of cool to have. Oh, the butler. I have recommended to the mayor that she take a break from her labours, but she has stated that alleviating the citizens' concerns and bringing back peace to Bose comes first. I'd be more happy that Mayor Mabel has matured into such a fine young woman, but I wish she would take better care of herself sometimes. But yeah, I think this is early for normal, but I'm gonna call it an episode here, because, well, for a start we had that slight hiccup where I had to immediately reset and go back again, but there's also, well, we've been through a lot, and we have a very clear goal in mind. That's something we'll deal with next time, so until then guys, take care. I'll see you all around.